in my building, and my valet very nicely says to me, Mrs. Zaffron, and I go, what is it? Because I'm so small, I didn't even realize that one was out, and that's so sad. And it was a flesh tone colored thing, so I didn't know. I had circles.
One of the gals popped out?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
And this one put a sheet on me, not realizing I'm scared of sheets. My grandmother's from the South, okay? Tell me when we're recording so I know
We're
what I'm
recording.
doing. And if we're not good, we gotta be careful, because I gotta make announcements, because, like, listen, this place is a safe place. We're supposed to be able to have kids here. Hey, you, how you doing, handsome?
Everybody was here early.
I know, right?
We missed the barbecue and the party.
Sign in after Esmeralda, so I just know in my head. Esmeralda says, please don't let me be misunderstood. You need a pluma?
That one.
Oh my God, I love that song. You know what song I hated growing up? I had no business being out anyway, but I hated the Tramps. Burn Baby, Burn Disco. It was the longest song in disco, and the ugliest men would ask you to dance.
I played that at a party, and I burned my cigarette lights with that song.
Wow.
So awesome.
You see?
I love that song. Yeah.
We're around all these stars today. Just want to say hi to the stylist, Jade Jones. I just wanted to say hi, Jade. Thank you for coming out, being a part of this, and witnessing stand-up comedy from then till now. Ooh, God. Gee, I've seen a lot. It's terrible. It's great. Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
We're rolling. Hey, we're live. Welcome to LASC's Open Mic, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host. My name is Sundar Kronquist, and I just want to say this is a great place. It's a safe space, and I'm just going to make sure that we are recording this. Look, we're going to be here with all kinds of people. We're going to be here with young people, young adults. If you're a man or a woman that's over a certain age, and you know what age that is, that means over anything teen, don't ever make anyone feel uncomfortable in this room. We're going to ask you not to come back. Only because I want everyone to feel safe. And don't think that everything doesn't get back to me. And don't think that I don't see things. So I do. And I really respect everyone that comes out here. And every woman should feel safe here. I'm just saying. Because every man shouldn't feel safe. Not with Snap on and everything. You cannot feel safe. But if you want to kill them, remember antifreeze. It's tasteless. Antifreeze is tasteless. But my mother will try to kill me with a matzo ball. But those are stories for another time, for another take. Tonight is a night of comedians, and I love to start with just saying that we're an international group here. And I think we're going to take it from east to west, from west to east, and I'm going to bring up a person who always has a lot to say. Let's get up for one and only Patty. Let me.
Hey, ho! Give me a little more than that. I can't record it. I was going to bring my wife, only because those of you that know me know I talk about her all the time. And I wanted to prove that she actually existed. That it's not just me and a tiny dog in a studio apartment eating bratwurst over a sink. You know, because you, sir, that's exactly what you think of me. I can tell you were just looking. Don't get me wrong, you're a beautiful man. I'm not homosexual, but you're hot. What I mean is, I would like to go to jail with you if you ever look. But these are just feelings, okay? Don't get these feelings. I'm recovering from a lifelong obsession with Catholicism. I've been raised a terminally Catholic human being. You know, my wife is also. What that means is I'm a lousy Catholic, and my wife it tries really, really hard to be a really, really good Catholic. And like those people that go to the opera. I don't want to interrupt your conversation. That's okay. We'll catch up. They're like the operatic virtual signalers that you spoke of. You know, I'm better than you because I just love the idea of someone at the opera bopping their head. That's fucking great. I mean, that's a big fuck you to you and your fucking traditions. Besides, you can't really trust Italian people. You know what I mean? I've owed a couple money. It can get unpleasant. They're fucking unpleasant. I love them though. I love Italian. Who doesn't love Italian people? Come on! The indigenous people of these lands must love. Where was that? Columbus? Yeah, there you go. There's a famous Italian. Here's the thing though. I'm going to tell you some feelings I have. Would that be all right? The stuff about America that is just odd. I came here when I was a little boy, but I'll get to that in a second. I was just a fatty patty little immigrant. fatty patty. But there's an audacious. Look, here's what I learned. I came here when I was a very little boy. I know there's a couple of things you can't miss with it. You know, if you've got two and a little bit of the other one, you're good. Which is ignorance and confidence. And listen, I'm just going to tell you the truth. A dollop of white privilege hasn't hurt. It has not hurt. Because it's all fucking dacity. Like I went and I saw Top Gun. Did you see fucking Top Gun? Or a lot of big dick energy, or as I like to like. A better name would be like American foreign policy. It's the whole kind of, we like to go places. I was born in Ireland, I'll just tell you, and in Europe, Americans don't have a great reputation because you got to tell you why. You want to know? You guys look like you can handle it. She's still on the phone, but that's a little bit of a pass. That's all right. That's okay. Something's going on. She's got to take care of it. Fighting fires or something. But we are ostentatious. I consider myself American now. I've been here 51 years. I'm American. I can say I'm American, but sometimes I go, am I fucking really? Is that what I am? Because we go to places like, do you know Domino's Pizza? Are you familiar with these people? Do you know they just shut down all operations in Italy recently? First of all, what the fuck are they doing in Italy? It's the whole idea. You're going to go to the world invented fucking delicious fucking pizza in the world, and no, they'll eat our shit. Just serve them fucking shitty pizza. It's ostentatious. It's arrogant, is what I'm trying to say. They don't come here and try and sell us assault rifles. That's our fucking job, okay? That's what we do, is arm the fucking world. Arm the world. It's our job. Okay? And we'd like to say, we're number one. We're number one. Say you're in the top 10 or something. Stop with that. We're the number one. You guys do it one time. Give me a, we're number one. Go ahead. Shut the fuck up. I've had enough of it. Okay, but number one, yeah, baby. I'll give it to you. Yeah, baby. Number one in obesity. Yes. Number one in diabetes. Number one in child gunshot victims. Hey, how about that? You know that? Anywhere we have 4% of the world's children, 1 out of 4 children shot right here in the U.S. of A. Oh, by the way, education, number 27. So, you know, that's why Johnny can't read, but he can fucking shoot. Oh, he can fucking shoot. Get ready. The chickens are coming home to roost, as a wise man once said, quite publicly. What my point is like, I'm Catholic. You know, that's it. You know, and I'm like 97% of Catholics. When I go there, I don't know that all that stuff's true. I'm just praying it is so I get to live in the sky forever. There's about 3% true believers. The rest of us are just, you know. We're hoping all of it's true. It makes us treat each other better, man. Nobody knows. The 3% that are atheists, how do they know either? You know, they're as pompous as they're like, oh no, it's you know, there's one way in, you can't get in anyway. And if there's an attack at a Catholic school, it's a nun with a ruler, or maybe a priest with his penis. Either way, you're gonna fucking live, right? Look at me, I'm alive. Would you? I was the ugliest altar boy, though, so I had Hey, I'm just telling you, look, some of that stuff's true, you know. Some of it. There was a priest in our parish, there's a couple of them, you know. One was Father Michael, the booty burglar McGillicuddy. You want to avoid all contact with him, which, rumor was, though, he was also a passive-aggressive power bottom, so it wasn't all bad. And there were worse. There's degrees to this stuff. Like the worst was Monsignor Fabio Aguilar, he was also known as the Christopher Columbus of England. Yeah, you'd want to avoid him. You know, because you like to think you got there first. Take your fucking time with that. Just take your fucking time and do what the fuck you want with it. Let it simmer. Let it cook. Taste what I'm cooking. But you know what? It's all worked out because now I've been married for 29 years and I have 2 beautiful children. I have 5, but the other 3 fucking annoy me. And my wife and I are practicing Catholics, 5 kids, so we fucking practiced a lot, you can probably guess. Yeah. I've actually perfected it. Perfected Catholicism. And, you know, at this point in life, sex kind of slows down. But I'm not going to tell you, sex stays the same after 29 years of marriage. My sex life is like a lot like finding street parking in Koreatown. It never happens. If it does, I really appreciate it. But it's usually just easier if I pay for it. But at this point, what the fuck am I going to do? Convert? I was thinking of it. I was going to convert to Judaism, but not traditional Judaism, Judge Judaism. Because God's a fucking woman, let's face it. She's multitasking, and she's got no time for your shit. No? All right, so the Judge Judy shit didn't work. But here's the deal. Like, I was married before. I was a mixed marriage. You know, I was a Irish Catholic, and she was a sadistic Jehovah's Witness. She couldn't get off unless I slammed the door in her face. Take your fucking time with that. I'll take it, let that one simmer for a while. It'll come and get you, and I'll bring you back. Good God, look at all of you. All good looking, just beautiful, beautiful. There's a couple of shitbags over there, but for the most part, beautiful, beautiful, good looking fucking people. You know what I'm saying, Leslie? Leslie's with us now. That's okay. Did Leslie try to take you to the opera? That's what I got. Is that what happened? You can tell us the truth. Because I could see Leslie there at the opera. I could see her there at the opera. Yeah, you know what I found out? I got my Ancestry.com back. I'm 99% Irish and 1% sea lion. No, I'm kidding, 1% Viking on my father's side. You know how that worked. Viking rape. Viking rape. Because it's always on your father's side, because the conquerors are always men. And you know what they do when they get to a little Viking rape. Viking rape. But all of my DNA comes from an 80 square mile area in the west of Ireland. You know what that means? Cousins fucked. And fucking often. My family tree looks like a fucking stump. From the shallow end of the gene pool, baby. The thing is, I actually suffered from Irish psychotherapy for 35 years. Or as it's called in this country, alcoholism. So, you know, I can say things because I'm Irish, you know. Like, the Irish are just a nation of drunkards. I could say that because I'm Irish and I'm thinking about getting drunk right fucking now. Right fucking now! Not much of a chance of that because, ladies and gentlemen, I've been sober now for 14 years. Right? You like that? So what I'm trying to tell you is I've been a habitual pot smoker now for 14 years. 14 years! But I want you guys to know something, and this comes from me, Harsh. If, this is just if, it's not going to happen. I got 14 years in the tank, baby. But if, for some reason, later tonight, I fall off the wagon, I want you to know something. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. Just sobriety is boring, baby. It's nowhere near as good as they make it sound. You know what I mean? If I had my way, I would have kept drinking. I'd have learned how to drink. You know what I mean? You guys don't. You can take Ubers now. You don't have to worry. I had 15 DUIs. You know what I mean? I got a DUI driving on the sidewalk. The cop said, why are you driving on the sidewalk? I said, I'm too drunk to walk. I mean, a lot of fucking DUIs. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But, you know, here's the deal. Some of the best things that ever happened to me in my life happened to me while I was drunk. You know, it's true. I met my wife when I was drunk. I'll never forget. I was at the Improv, and I'd seen her there. I came out of the big room, and she was there. I'd seen her, you know, around. You know, I was smitten with her. And she did this. She went. And I went, ooh, and I snuck up on her. And she looked right at me. I remember the first thing she ever said to me. Patty, because that's my name. Do you know where to get any cocaine? I knew it was really love because I really love cocaine, and so did she. And we've been married now for 31 years. Gonna get some love for that, okay? Because I'll point something out to you. Hey man, how was it? Most of you, some of you, are from a generation called millennial. There may be a Gen Z here. My wife and I are from the let's get another 8-ball generation. That's where you guys come from. That's where you come from. Yeah, baby. Well, listen, you guys have been rather mediocre as an audience, but that's okay. I love you anyway. I want to wrap this up by saying I can be found at Paddy for Comedy, PADDYFORCOMEDY on Instagram. Did you hear that, man? Instagram. I'm on Instagram, baby. And I just would like to leave you, before I bring the lovely Sunda Kunkus back up, I would like to leave you by quoting famed comedian Louis C.K. Thank you for allowing me to expose myself. You've been wonderful. Come on, give it up for Sunda! Come on! Sunda.
Patty with a G. You looking good, Patty.
I'm working on it.
What's going on, man? That sobriety shit works, huh?
Depends on who
I
you
should
ask.
try drinking. I should try drinking. Alcohol's not allowed in my house. Because I saw too much of it as a kid, so I tell the kids no, pot only. And somebody says, that doesn't make sense. I said, it does. But it doesn't, because you can't afford the food bill. They just eat so much, and you wish it was sushi, but that's okay, because we've got the comedy of Mijo. Come on, let's do this.
Hello.
Oh, look at that outfit.
Okay.
Thank you. Brand new. I finally brought my best friend. If I am not hanging out with him, I'm alone. I got an A friend in LA. We best friend forever. We are, good duo, great duo. Each other's partner hate us. Yeah.
Sorry. The truth.
I broke it.
The truth.
Okay, there's a guy.
Yeah, they fucking hate us.
Yeah, wait, let Patty do it. Patty.
Yeah. I fixed it.
Have to click.
I can do it. I'm Asian. Come on.
Oh!
Messing.
You made it.
It's my shit. I can't say it because I'm Asian. Yeah, so he's my bestie, and then he can't read analog watch. Like this. Like, I don't know what middle finger, yeah, but yeah. Like watch. Right? I'm like, how did you live until now? It's like basic stuff. Like, and he has watch. Like Rolex watch. Like, you can't read it. You need a G-Shock instead. You don't deserve to have fucking Rolex. You can't even read it. That's fucking bracelet. Right? And me, I can't tell left and right. Driving test, the examiner said right, and I'm like, right, left, okay. Like, this way. We mean to be best friends. We both broken. That's why we like each other. Feel better of each other, So my 2021 birthday, last year, me and him and a few people hanging out together, right? Even, quarantine, I wanted to have a little fun. So we had a little lunch at home, and after that, we always driving around with his convertible, and then we do window house shopping in Beverly Hills. Getting super high. It's one of the best thing to do. We encounter like fucking castle, right? And one day we brought like greedy money, gold digger bitch, and then that thing didn't show up. So you gotta have a good heart to encounter the castle in the Beverly Hills. So we were doing that in Beverly Hills. He was drunk. He was driving. That's okay, cause no one was there. It was quarantine, still kind of like not quarantine, but like kind of quarantine. And then he fucking knocked over the like trash can, right? I'm like, oh, be careful. That tone, right? And then we got on the hill, and then 3 police cars fucking stopped us. Like, what the fuck? It's like just like a fucking movie. We are criminal. And then they're like, oh, we heard someone's stealing the mail from mailbox. Is that you guys? No. I was dressing like a fucking party, right? I was like whole like shiny outfit. Come come on, it's my birthday. I was really high and then drunk, so I was like, officer, it's my birthday, we're just having fun. And he said, this is curfew, you guys can't be here anymore. Like, but wait, curfew's at 10, it's still 9. And then fucking Beverly Hills had a different time for curfew. That shit is like, how, like, if I don't know where I am right now, you know? I can't keep a track. Each area is curfew. So I was like, what the fuck? Come on, officer, it's my birthday. We're just having fun, right? He was really hot. The officer was really fucking hot. I don't know. Beverly Hills cop, right? There's something. He was really fucking dreaming hot. I am picky. If he knows, I am picky. I don't give anyone compliment. He was really hot. Right? So I was like high and drunk. We had alcohol in a cup holder. But I felt good, so I was like, officer. Right? I was kind of floating, and he asked me, so when's your birthday? Today. He's like, what date's today? It's June 3rd. He doesn't have joke skills. It's okay. That's okay. He was cute, but he wasn't funny, so not dating material. But we can still fuck. And at the end, he was like, "Oh, you guys are so lucky because she's her birthday, so you guys appreciate to her, and I'm gonna let you guys go." Nothing happened. I mean, literally, like we are just like 2 Asians and then 1 skinny white boy and a Latina girl. We are not most harmful thing ever. So, like, in first place, I don't know why we stopped, because we hit the trash can. I know. That's probably why, but yeah, it was quite a birthday. After that, I couldn't think of anything. It was like too much. Just fucking too much happened. It was a fun birthday. So hanging out with him, always shit happens. And became a story, so, you know, if you wanna have more joke, just hanging out with him. That's what I would say. Yeah, we even went to Disneyland last month. That's fun, that's fun. They have like Star Wars land. That shit is crazy. It's so beautiful, so realistic, just, oh, I'm in a galaxy, right? And then one Barco canteen, it's kind of famous, like Han Solo hanging out spot in the movie. They're so great. There's one guy, he dressed all that like Jedi clothing, and then he's like a George Takei, and then he speaks so well. Like, he's wearing thick-ass mask, and everyone can hear him. Like, he is projecting as much as, like, theater people do. He was just amazing guy. Like, I didn't get it how this place run without him. He was that iconic, right? After that, we had a reservation dinner at the Goofy's Kitchen, right? We went to Goofy's Kitchen, and then we encountered one cameraman, old guy, very grumpy. And we are with his brother, teenagers, and then he said to teenagers, "You guys watch out." I'm like, what? They didn't do anything. They're just nice kids, so I didn't get it. And I was like, oh, maybe he was on his period, right? I just joked about it. And then that waiter, that time helping us, another grandma, she thought I'm talking about her. And she said, "You think I don't hear anything? I am not a fool." She said that to us, and then she brought to the table like super shadowy. No one comes and check us. It was awful. It was like angry Disney nursing home. So be careful when you go to Goofy's Kitchen. Like, that place is different. So I have eczema. Eczema is fucking annoying. Like, it's itchy every day. Like, how much time I was scratching in my life, if I can put it in my work, I'm not here. I'm somewhere not here. That much, it's annoying. And then you think, I want to get rid of it. I don't. I don't want to get rid of my eczema. You think I hate my eczema. I kind of actually do love my eczema. You know, when I'm scratching myself, it feels good. You guys have no idea. It's better than many of my sex. Like, way better than many dicks. and a few pussies. Like, that shit is great. It's masturbation. Like, you think I'm scratching? I'm fucking freaking bean. You have no idea. Like, right in this moment, I'm looking forward to go home and scratch myself and losing my mind. It feels good. So, like, I'm always like, I want to get rid of it. But I can't. Maybe I'm gonna live with this forever. It's not too bad. You know, it feels good. Yeah. It's a sexy time, actually. So, I hate guys. I know I'm gonna hook up with him tomorrow. Like, we promised that we're gonna hook up tomorrow. But he asked me to send me sexy picture. What's your favorite movie, Patty?
My favorite what movie?
Movie? Any movie. What's your favorite
Wizard
movie?
of Oz.
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz.
If they gonna make sequel now, right?
Yeah.
And then fandom said, everyone said it's great movie. Do you wanna watch trailer? If you're gonna watch tomorrow, do you wanna watch trailer?
No, I want to watch the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna see me and have a good time tomorrow with me? You don't need a noodle today. Don't ruin your experience. I'm also lazy. I don't want to take fresh noodle for you. That shit takes a lot of. I have to take off clothes first. Like how much energy I waste from it. Like, no, you don't deserve it. You know, occasionally, I suck dick. You know, then I have a dental problem. My jaw, each time I open my mouth, I have to do this. You hear that?
Oh!
I can't put on a mouth. This shit is broken, so every time I try to suck the dick, I have to manually open my mouth. This feels stupid. This doesn't feel sexy, so I'm looking for a good dentist. I think I'm almost 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'm good. Alright, I'm Miho Fuji, thank you. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Even I have MySpace, maybe. Look at Miho Fuji, MIHOFUJI.
Like the apple.
Thank you.
Like the apple.
Apple.
Remember, like the apple.
And so, sometimes, did you have fun? Did you have fun watching? You're gonna go and do this one day now?
I am, yeah. I'm thinking of.
Yeah? It's like waiting for Santa Claus. But you know, I got something just as good, but close enough. Roberto Claus, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hear you.
You said we were live? Like, are we broadcasting or something?
Nothing's changed.
Well, so, kids these days are all fucking sociopaths. I think it's due to technology, because when I was a kid, for example, the only people you'd see wearing the Bluetooth earphones would be lawyers, businessmen, and drug dealers.
Yes.
And nowadays, you just see all these kids walking around with them in one ear, and they all sound like they're negotiating a drug deal, but really they're just negotiating for a better Lunchable or something like that. Mom? Yeah. No. Fruit Loops. Better get this right, bitch, or I'll review bomb you on Yelp. But also there are people my age and older who have a similar problem with technology. If I had a nickel for every time I looked and saw someone, you know, staring down in the middle of the freeway or in traffic, I'd probably have enough money to put up my own billboard which says, "I hope you motherfuckers crash."
Oh.
Living in LA does make you angry. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So a lot of studies have been done recently saying that adults are just having less sex than they used to. I know you guys are not part of that issue, but I think it's due to porn. Really, I do. And it's probably more due to the number of porn categories. Because, you know, when you're, like, surfing one of those sites, right? Like Pornhub or something, you'll just be on the site, and then suddenly you'll ask, "Hey, do you want to watch a video of a dwarf, an octopus, 2 police officers, and a federal judge go out in the middle of a bank? Yeah? Come on. But also, I do think that porn instills such an unrealistic expectation in the youth, right? Like, for they all start the same. It's always some dude who's barely dressed, or he looks like he hasn't bathed in a month. He walks into a random office building, and suddenly every woman in a half-mile radius is stuck under something. And incidentally, none of them are wearing panties. This doesn't... I mean, in real life, what really happens is 2 people talk for a little while, they eventually agree to go out to a bar or restaurant, and one of them banks on the other getting drunk enough to agree to average sex. I was reading the other day about a New York TV pastor who was robbed during a live broadcast, and all I could think was, praise Jesus. Now, I'm not religious, but I did grow up as a Catholic. And I do not recall when I was taught the Bible that there was, an 11th commandment that said, thou shalt have lots of bling. I think the main problems with religion are that it's very easy for someone to just say, oh, God gave me a message to give to the people, now give me some money for my jet. And also that, pedophilia runs rampant within the church. And I wonder why. You tell someone from the moment they enter priest training that they're not allowed to masturbate. I don't know about you, but if you took that away from me, you'd see me on the evening news raping a deflated tire. Actually, I think the way to fix this is that when the priest gets their collar and their certification, they should also get a sex doll. And I think once the technology becomes available, they should have like just a full-out android prostitute Blade Runner style, right? That way, if they're, tempted by the choir boys during a sermon, they have an outlet. Now, I'm not trying to defend these... Anyway. Despite what I just said about people having less sex, I still do believe that guys will say anything to have sex. Guys, if a girl you're interested in approaches you and says, hey, do you want to do CrossFit with me? In your mind, you'll probably be thinking, what the fuck is CrossFit? What you'll actually say is, sure, I've been CrossFitting all my life. And I'll tell you what CrossFit is. It's a mistake. It's basically an extremely intense workout regimen you should only attempt if you've been going to the gym for years and you're already aware of all the proper form and all that nonsense. And what I found out about CrossFit is that in this state, you only need to take 2 days worth of courses to open up your own CrossFit gym, which is kind of like me clocking in a 48 hours on Microsoft Flight Simulator and opening up my own airline, calling it Spirit. By the way, the water you pay $3.50 for on Spirit, I know where that shit comes from. It comes from the people showering in first class on Emirates. Now, last time I was here, I only ever did 5 minutes. I realize you guys have now to 10 minutes. I'm not sure if I have 10 minutes of material, but if you'll bear with me, I do have another Word document. All right, let's talk about the fetus. And that, there's this really stupid argument, I think, that goes against abortion. I don't care where you stand on this issue, but the argument is you shouldn't abort because of the potential of the fetus. And to me, that doesn't make so much sense because potential has historically never been a great argument. Like, you wouldn't... I'm not married, but let's say if I was and I cheated on my wife and she caught me, I wouldn't say, babe, potentially I could have slept with more than just your mom and your best friend. No, potentially you'd get stabbed. You don't say to your loan shark after borrowing money for a horse race, well, potentially I could have won $50K. Potentially you're about to have your legs broken. Like, potentially any fetus can grow up to become like the next George Carlin, the next JFK, the next Carl Sagan, but more likely they'll grow up to become the next Jared from Subway, the next crack addict grinding down bikes to steal from Sunda for some reason. Or the best one is, wait, you just killed the cure for cancer. No, they fucking didn't. We've had 8 billion tries at this, and not once have we gotten the cure for cancer. What we got was some flunk out who worked at McDonald's for the rest of his 50 years of misery. Potentially that last bit could have gotten more laughs, but... Alright, okay, this is less a joke, more an anecdote. About mental health. I was in line at the gas station the other day just for some drinks and some snacks, and this old dude walks in, and I'm telling you, he is ancient. Ancient, white, grizzled haircut, using a cane and having to stop every 2 seconds to catch his breath. And he gets in line behind me. Now in front of us is a woman and her fat-ass kids, and these kids are running amok around the store. They're doing backflips, grabbing junk food for their mom to buy. And so me and the old man start talking, and he has a really quiet voice. And he says, back in my day, you know, during Nam, we were never this unhealthy. And I'm like, yeah, obesity is a crisis now because of the availability of junk food. And hey, you served in Nam? Yeah. And you know, these kids move too fast. You know, if you were in Nam and something moved fast in the jungle, you'd have to kill it. And so I should have shut up, but what I said to him was, oh, isn't it funny then? You went from an actual jungle to an urban one where people are basically required to move fast where they need to go. And he just softly chuckled. And of course, I was the only one who heard him say all that shit. So I had to spend the next 5 minutes, you know, just looking at anything else. But I also had to acknowledge the fact that mental health is a crisis in this country, and especially with veterans, they don't get the help they need. That being said, I would never join the military no matter how much money or college education you offered me. I'm not that dumb. Is it just me, or, like, there's a lot of bad shit going on right now in the world, but can we all just agree that everything bad that's happened recently, the invasion of Ukraine, Trump going apeshit for the 1000th time, all that, I think, can be blamed on Ezra Miller. For those of you who don't know, Ezra Miller is the actor who played the Flash in the Justice League. He's about a year older than I am, and typically you want someone stable playing a superhero, but this guy has been in all over the news. He beat up a woman in Iceland for no fucking reason at a bar. He has a ranch out in Idaho where he's hosting a family with kids, even though his ranch is filled to the brim with guns and these kids have been seen playing with the bullets. He's also, I don't know, getting called out by the execs at Warner right now. And all I'm saying is that having this guy as a superhero is like having Clarence Thomas lead an abortion rights rally. Heaps of irony. Although, I will say this one thing. I heard after the Roe ruling, and this may be a rumor, I don't know, but someone said that he was talking about going for a ban on oral sex. Congratulations. But I understand. I've seen his wife. I imagine going down on her would be like heading into the Amazon. You need to hire a Latino like myself with a machete just to get through all the pubic hair. You'd have to fend off giant crabs. And when you finally reach the clit, Harrison Ford would pop out and say, oh, it belongs in a museum. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. Where can we find you?
The cave outside of Reno.
All right. That sounds like a priest. All right, come on. Give it up over here. Stop being a wise guy.
You're always being a wise guy on me. Why, I don't know. But you know what I do like? I think that there's enough women to show you that there's women in comedy. Thank God there's some estrogen. Come on in. There's a chair here. Right here.
Hey.
Come in, Slim. Come in, Slim.
Over there.
You have the honor. Oh man, you make me think I got a nice place the way you do it. I'm like, wow, like it's not so bad after all. Look, he leaned back, got his broom. Just don't spill it, man. That's all, because she'll get you.
It's not even brew, you know, yerba. You know, I'm a healthy boy. Oh.
Like, I know what the fuck yerba is. Yerba is marijuana to the Dominicans where I'm from, okay? That's what yerba is. You wouldn't even say marijuana. You wouldn't say it's marijuana. Okay, so listen. Think there's a dearth of females. Think again. This lady's gonna knock your socks off. We'll give it up for the comedy of the one and only Esmeralda Mencia.
That's funny because nobody calls me Esmeralda.
Oh, what is it?
I go by
Emerald?
Emerald, yeah.
But it's fine. I have one. Oh no, I like it. I sound exotic. I did do a 23andMe, and I got those. I'm 2% Neanderthal. True story. It makes sense why I have like a 5 o'clock shadow on my leg, like right after I shave. I'm like, oh, well, hello, 2%. I want to get this out of the way. I'm born and raised in LA. My pronouns are dude and fool. If I hear you guys talking about me, I'll be like, hey, you see that fool over there? Remember that. What can I tell you guys? But yeah, I am born and raised in LA. I grew up with a very unstable family, but we were also Catholic, so I guess that just speaks for itself, right? Yeah, so it's all good. A little fun fact about me, though, I am married. Yeah, don't crack jokes. Not so fun fact about me is I'm married. Yeah, this pandemic has been real tough on us. We had to spend time together. It was great. We've been married since 2017. We've been together since 2006. Wow. And I told my dad that I was married 6 months ago.
Wow.
That's how good we are. That's how close we are. That Catholic family, ooh, we are so close. We just eloped, we said. I was like, you know what? My tooth really hurts. And he's like, I got insurance. I was like,
Hey.
I got a vagina. Let's do it. So my tooth is still fucked. Insurance is whack. Thought I was more prepared for this, but I guess I'm not. So here this comes. Let's see. Well, I gotta tell you, I've been sober for a day. It's been great. No, during the pandemic, I like many other people, you thought this was gonna be like a 2-week endeavor. You're like, yeah, let's get fucked up every night. And then 2 months in, you're like, all right, my liver's starting to hurt. I think I might have a problem. So I switched to weed. And I haven't turned back since. Yeah. Right. Oh, I also want to talk about this little shower cap doohickey here. I would like to know where you got it, because I want to put it on my dog. It's pretty awesome, and I've been watching. I was like, what's the point? We're all just talking into it.
Not to my mic.
But yeah, COVID. Let's go back to being married during COVID. It's fun because, you're living in an apartment about as big as this, and you have one TV, and you're just sitting there, and you just start hearing things in your room, and you're just like, what is that noise? And it just keeps going. It's like, you're like, what? I'm watching TV, but what is that noise? And you think someone's jacking off next to you, but they're actually just blinking. And this is when you know shit's about to go down. You're not drunk, you're not high, you're just looking at them and you say, can you fucking mind? And he has no idea what I'm talking about. I was like, clear eyes. Get some clear eyes. We need some Visine in your life. I'm a peach, guys. I don't know how I'm not single. I love him. Because this is life. Love you, honey. You're the bestest, Aaron. But let's see. Why did I tell my dad I was married after 4 years? My dad actually got COVID, and he has had a bunch of pre-existing conditions, and I just kept hearing, if you have pre-existing conditions, you're gonna die. They're not gonna live. They're gonna die. I'm like, oh, dude. And I told my husband, I was like, you gotta tell him. He's like, that's your department. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be like that. I'm gonna say you kidnapped me. No, I didn't do that. I was thinking about it, but no, I didn't do that. I made sure when I went and saw my dad after he's had cancer, he had sepsis, he had something called broken dick. It's when you don't pee right, and I thought he was just gonna end it at one point, and I was like, dude, you just have all these ailments. I call him the roach because he just won't die. I've actually told that to my dad. He's cool with it. We're good. But yeah, I had to make sure he was really, really high when I told him that I was married. I was like, hey Dad, I brought a sandwich. How about you pull out your weed? Let's toke and talk a little bit. And he's like, okay. It's weird. You never want to smoke with me. I'm like, yeah, I know. I got some news. And then I waited for him to like be bloodshot in the eyes a little bit. And I'm like, how you feeling? He's like, I could go for another sandwich. I was like, I got some news to tell you. And I was like, I'm married. And he's like, ham sounds good. And I was like, all right, cool, let's gloss over it. That's great. And I was like, I expect a very nice gift. I'm still waiting on it. He said, I have to wait 4 years since I waited 4 years to tell him. Yeah. Hey, he lived. He's alive. He's still kicking. That roach is still kicking, guys. That's how it goes. But, I know you guys probably have this feeling. It's like when you grow up, you have that one person that's just always an asshole and always on you, and that was my dad for me. But now the tables have turned because I'm the stronger, faster one, and he's the weak one. So he's got to be nice to me now because I get to choose his convalescent home. And I was like, do you want to be with your little buddies crawling across the floor, or do you want to be with good nurses? Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's gonna be okay. He's got me as a daughter, and my husband's got me as a wife. So. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I already did that. Well, what else can I tell you guys? I feel like I've kind of just jumped into this because this weekend was kind of a blur. I was like, I'm in my 30s now. I feel like I don't need to party as hard. And then like Friday night I got fucked up. And then I woke up and I was like, all right, water. And then Saturday night I got fucked up and I was like, all right, more water. And then yesterday I was like, I'm not gonna drink today. And then somebody's like, hey, do you want a cocktail? I was like, fuck, I miss COVID. I just miss quarantining and being in my apartment by myself and not being bothered by one damn person. And then today I was like, I'll be good. And I have been. That's why. 1 day sober. We're doing it.
Do it.
I don't know if we're not gonna make it till tomorrow, but
you try.
It's worth the try. What else? I have all these things in my head, and then I see all your beautiful faces, and then I just I completely forget. And this light is really hot. Oh shit! Wow, I really am blanking. It's because I've only eaten once today. I'm still on the come down. It's like, hey, shake. Just shake a little bit. Nope. Oh, I'm so glad I have a show coming up.
Tell us when afterwards.
Okay. Oh. Well, I come with a lot of trauma from my past, and I don't like to call it baggage because it sounds like I don't know where it came from. I like to call it a grief case. Like I just carry it around with me, and I'm just like, all right. And they're like, why do you have anxiety? I'm like, oh, let me just flip through the pages. Oh, it might have been when my dad said I look like a prostitute for blue nail polish when I was 8. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's good. He's good. Still kicking. I don't have that bad of that. My baggage isn't that bad. But let's see. Well, shit. This is, I used to be a lot more energetic, and then COVID hit, and I was like, you know what? I want to be in goblin mode for the rest of my life. I was like, it's been pretty great. At first I was like, man, I really miss my friends. I really miss just going out and drinking. And then, I learned how to crochet, and I was like, blankets. This is way better. Blankets are way better than friends. And then I started making little figures, and I was like, these are my new friends now. They're also for sale. They need to go. I need rent money. But yeah, like I feel like COVID really ruined me because I just like went from like keg stands and flip cup and beer pong, and now I'm like crocheting those blankets and those little dolls, and I'm yawning by 9, and I'm just like, this is enough Game of Thrones for one night. We're going to bed. Oh man. Okay. Oh, I guess I can talk about how I don't trust anything. Well, I don't trust anything. I don't even trust myself. You brought her up earlier. Her name is Esmeralda. And bless you.
Emerald.
Gesundheit.
Emerald.
Yeah, no, Esmeralda, you can't trust her because she's a biter. I get a little too much alcohol on me, and I'm like, my fight or flight breaks, and I'm like, looks like we're going after everybody tonight. Yeah, she's a biter. The last time I saw her was about a year ago. I went to the Hella Mega Tour, where Green Day and Weezer, and you guys look at me like you guys never heard these bands before.
I'm your age. I know them.
Okay, yes, I know. Yeah, Weezer, Hella Mega Tour. Yeah, no, she came out full force. She's like outside of Goblin mode, and she was really into natural deodorant, which wasn't working out. That shit doesn't work. Come at me. I'm gonna keep using my aluminum. At least I smell like lavender and not onion. Wasn't sure where I was going with that one, but that What do we got on time?
You're up.
Yes. All right, guys. My name is Arma Mancia. I'm on Instagram at Emancia32, and I do have a show on the 21st at the Garage on Motor.
Yeah.
Nice. The Garage on Motor. You want to print it? You want to just say that one more time? Key behind you. Pay attention, guys. That women bathroom.
Everything.
Where
The whole set, the whole thing again?
Yeah,
All right,
just start
guys.
at the
No, I was
beginning,
kidding.
Oh, and the men too.
Emancia32, Garage on Motor on the 21st at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Come on.
You guys gotta support each other. So if you have any questions, you want to go to the bathroom, do when I'm on stage. If you're gonna have quick sex
They even go to the bathroom together.
together, I know that. That's really cute. That's an Asian thing, dude. I just don't
My
understand.
wife goes to the bathroom with the pool boy.
She does. Want to go to the bathroom too?
No. There is a crowd. No.
Would you charge to get a copy of?
The copy of the house bonus.
Okay.
So my name is Sunda, in case you guys haven't been there. This is the home of the $10 mic. What's good about that is that you're able to get a copy of it with the wonderful and lovely Wes Farquhar. And even though people say to me, but I only have 5 minutes, you will be so surprised how your 5 minutes goes into 8 minutes. And the only time that it happens, that they notice it, is when they get home and they say, I did 11 minutes on a 5-minute set. And so I'm saying that because if you want a clip, get it before he's not here. Like, he wasn't here the other day and the world fell apart. Okay? Was not here. You gotta see it. People are like, what do you mean he's not here? The guy that's here every week is not here today. Every week he's here, but this week he's not here. I'm like, he's not here this week because tomorrow's not promised. My grandmother told me that. You have to have a grandmother that makes you think. I'm just hoping they don't walk in on you, but they will. And you know what? You'll learn right here, because when you're in a club, man, and this is a club scene, Patty will tell you, you're going to have so many things that try to just screw you up.
Blender drinks.
My God, my God, my God, my God, why? They see what we're trying to do. Also, don't let your comedians, if you're producing a show, insult your venue. I have to tell you, I've seen a lot of that going on. Don't have them back, because let me tell you something. Even though the people from the venue are like, that's so funny, they said I have roaches in my kitchen. They'll never want you back again. They're going to laugh with you, but they're going to remember that. It's not nice. But not everybody's nice. I didn't mean to give you a lesson. I was just trying to wait till somebody came back in. Because I hate to interrupt somebody. No, I hate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever have the perfect tape and then something happens? It's usually me doing that. There was a show, and it was everyone's first time going on. And it was my guest who lost his mind, took his briefcase, and knocked everything off of the bar at Stand Up New York.
Oh! That's so good.
I go running in past the camera. See this? Look, how did I know? Come on in. Hey, look who it is. What are you, making magic now? See how we started? This is why I say, if you ever host here, don't do any time, because there will come a time when you're supposed to do time. That's okay. Oh, you got it? Oh, okay, good. As long as you got your little, little nipple for that. I had to drink beer, by the way, to make milk, so don't even laugh. It was disgusting. Stout.
Oh, it's the best now. That's Irish.
Horrible.
Good for you.
That's what it was. It was good for you. You would drink it, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, look at me. Yeah. And I build it up.
Stout had 29 children.
But
His name was Guinness. 29 children. Yeah.
You had 29 children?
29 children, yes.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, guys. And I wouldn't have had that piece of information. Did you kill her and put her in the back of the garbage dump or something? Where is she? What'd you do with her?
it would take a little longer usually.
Well, you don't fucking leave them alone by a back door with a dumpster. And we're waiting for everybody to come back so nobody's set is interrupted. Because, you know, the next guy coming on, like, when you look good, you want everybody else to be looking good. So when you go on stage, they're, like, paying attention. And I know you're going to glare at the door, but you're not going to glare at the comedy of the one and only Barrett Carroll. Let him hear you. 2 hours, 2 teams, 2 hours. Almost happened.
Open my Bible. Everyone turn to chapter 1. Can you just raise this up? Maybe I'll just hold it. I'll probably just hold it. How's everybody doing? Well, first I just want to say, like, I appreciate coming here and places like this, classes, you know, AA, anything. But truly, because you hear so many different people's stories and, like, ways of life and stuff. And so, anyway, I'm just saying I appreciate that. I mean, we're all, like, obviously talk about a wide variety of subject matter, and we all are kind of fucked up in our own ways. But, I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing to appreciate. That being said, I wanted to talk. Did somebody leave their keys? Anybody?
Me.
Oh, it's yours. Okay. So I was recently thinking about the universe, as we do all day, every day. If your mind just like wanders, you know, and it's pretty wild because even in more recent years we've discovered the vastness of the universe, you know, and it's crazy that out there. Our galaxy is just one of an endless number of galaxies, and there are hundreds of billions of suns within each galaxy, and our sun is just one of those suns, and we are just one of many planets orbiting around that sun, and there are still white women every day that will complain because someone forgot their side of lemon. And I see people bitching about stuff so often. I'm like, do you realize like how, like we are minuscule, like, but do you realize how small that thing is that you're bitching about for no reason? But it is crazy, like mental health in general and life is really just like riding a roller coaster, you know? But it's a roller coaster that if you were from like the 1700s and you hopped on a modern day roller coaster, it would be quite a shock. And that's sort of how life feels, where it's just very unexpected and all over the place. And I found that to be the case from a wide variety of experiences in my life, and the main one being, well, the first one being the way I grew up. For those who don't know, I have talked about it some here before, but I grew up in a far right-wing Christian fundamentalist cult with a father that believed he was a prophet sent by God to stop the enrollment process of the Mark of the Beast. So that was super fun. I had a prearranged marriage when I was 10. I lived on a big acreage with a barbed wire fence around it. I wasn't allowed to go to school. I never went to school until I went to college. I had to get permission, put my hand on my father's hip to get permission to speak. Yeah, and if you thought that was traumatic, then wait till I tell you about my degree in musical theater. Because getting a bachelor's degree in musical theater is quite a lot more traumatic. There's like weigh-ins and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, but so speaking of my background in religion and all that, I kind of wanted to address some of the problems that I still see today, because I've deconstructed, you know, for a long time, but I just wanted to share some of my favorite Bible verses that you don't usually hear in Sunday school. Is that okay with everybody? So, let's see. All right, let's start with these that usually kind of get glossed over on Sunday mornings. Wrong list. Here we go. Okay, these maybe you've heard these, maybe you haven't. Here, this is a personal favorite. And I especially like to quote these if people quote like the homosexual clobber verses, you know, I like to quote these back. So, there she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose emissions were like that of horses. Ezekiel 23:20. This is a good one for all the pro-life people, and I also hate the term pro-life because anyway, that's a rant for a different day. Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him, and she hath hid her son. 2 Kings 6:28-29. I'll give you one more. Let's see. This is a good one. This is a really good one. So this is actually a story. This is in 2 Kings. And I'll just kind of tell you the story, because it's kind of a long verse, but basically it's a guy who's bald. He's a prophet. He's a bald prophet. And he goes out, and these two kids run out, and they start making fun of him that he's bald. And so it says that he calls down the power of God and calls out two bears to rip apart the children. And that's how he gets his revenge. And those are the stories you won't hear in Sunday school. Plenty more where that came from. Plenty more. It is really crazy to me because, like I said, I deconstructed a lot, but my version that I grew up of religion was so much more extreme than what I thought was like mainstream. But then you also realize, you know, like it's all a cult. They're all different, just bigger, smaller. They're all a cult. But especially like Middle America or the South, Christian conservatives. Jesus. Woo. I mean, yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from Oklahoma, and I'm just, you know, I've lived there. I've lived Colorado. I've lived Ohio. I've lived Florida. It's like some of the people that I see that I know on social media, I'm like, good God. Like, I mean, I used to have more compassion, like trying to reach them a little bit better, and now I'm just like I'm just, can a meteor just strike us at this point, you know? But that being said, I don't know if you heard recently about the debt being forgiven, you know what I mean? The $10,000 or whatever. I don't know all the details. But I've never seen more Christians pissed than like people getting debt forgiven. You know, like why does that hurt you personally? And especially when like the whole basis of your teachings is about forgiveness. In fact, in the Lord's Prayer, it literally says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And it's just funny how everyone seems to skip those parts. But yeah, I will say this too, on the flip side of things, because I've gotten pretty liberal, I guess, over time. But there are people that are just a little too woke, and it's I'm like, I had a conversation with a woman the other day who, this is not a joke, genuinely, this is not a joke, and she told me that her pronouns were frogs. And I had a little conversation with her, and I was just confused, to be honest. I was just a little confused. And I mean, just a few years ago, pretty much everyone I knew was super homophobic, and now I'm like trying to get over that hurdle still, and now I'm expected to call people animals. You know, I haven't quite caught up, I guess. But it is a wild thing, and it was a genuine conversation, and me trying to understand it a little bit more offended everybody, and I'm like, you want to be referred to as I mean, first off, that's not a pronoun. Frog is not a pronoun. I mean, to start off. But I guess I have 1 minute left, or any minutes. Do I have any minutes left?
Frogs. Oh.
Frogs.
Frogs.
Um.
Frogs. You got 3 minutes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Somebody, a few people, maybe her. Were talking about just during COVID, and I think you were talking about COVID as well, like quarantine and all that. And like, you know the story of Rip Van Winkle?
Yeah.
That's the dude that fell asleep for a long time, right? I'm getting yeah. I feel like that sometimes, like especially after COVID and just like living the life, like all the life you live. And then do you ever feel like that? You just like have this conscious awareness one moment and you're like, God, like everything is just a blur, you know? Like all existence is just like a blur. Like yesterday feels like 10 years ago, and 10 years, like Kelly Clarkson won American Idol 20 years ago yesterday. And I was like, God, I'm 29 now, but I was like, okay, I'm ready for retirement. So, okay. All right, that's all. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, Barrett D. Carroll, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok's the main thing I do. And my website. And yeah, just Google Barrett D. Carroll. You'll find it.
Barrett D. Carroll. Double R, E, double T,
Yeah.
double R,
All the doubles,
or double L.
all the double T's. And
You see that? Double H, double this, double that. Everybody's good. Everybody's seated. Are we ready for the next coming of the one and only Billy Reback? Thank you, Billy. Just for 2 seconds. Come on, please. Come on, Billy. Just 2 seconds.
I want to see these people.
I know.
That's why I'm here.
I know. I can't get you in 2 seconds. Huh? Wow. All right. Jesus, I'm going to ask you to get up for Mr. Reed. Would you like to get him a chair, Roberto?
look, right there.
For
I got
Billy?
I got it.
Is that easy?
You picked it up? Okay.
Oh, hey man, how do you do it?
Yeah. Watch your head.
Ah! Woo! Okay. Wow. You know he's a man. That's for Billy. Billy, come in. Jesus, you can stand up, stay up. If you can't get him from behind, he's for me. This one. There you go. There you go. All right. We're living La Vida Loca now? Are you still with Trouble the Cat?
Always with trouble.
Always with trouble. Listen, I want to introduce this guy. Guys, are you Jewish? Because you whisper like a bunch of Jews. You're Asians. You're supposed to be able to whisper, okay? You sound like Jews whisper, okay?
We're bad Asians.
You're bad Asians.
That's why we're here.
That's why you're here, right? We're going to turn you into a Jew in a minute. I'll have your ass soaked in a mikvah before you fucking turn around. He'll be like, Baruch atah Adonai, what do you say, Mr. Shady? Anyway, as we're looking for the second coming, it's funny, you have all this religious stuff going on. And, a lot. Would you believe we have a special guest here today? Jesus is here. Jesus, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm actually surprised I'm the first one to bring this up today, but it's hot. It's like really, really hot. It's like, I live in the valley, and it's like 100 degrees. And then I came over here, and it's like 90 degrees. And I'm like, shit, it's hot anywhere. Why would anybody be excited about how hot it is? And there are people who are wasting their gas and driving to Mojave and to feel 127 degree heat and take a picture. Instagram got people acting like fools. I swear, just save yourself the money, turn on your oven, and put your head in there. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. But yeah, you know, I'm working on a bit of a set right now to clean it up, make it a little bit lighter, but I do start off on the dark note. I'm working myself through some depression. And to be honest, I didn't know how hard it is, like what depression could really do to you. It's tough. You know, I see all these Instagram posts and they're all like, oh, this and oh, that. And I never understood it until I spent like 3 weeks without taking a shower, changing my underwear, or calling any of my friends. You know, I look back and I thought to myself, I should have saved those underwear and sold them on eBay. Now that I'm waking back up out of this, I think about how it all started, how I started to feel down. A good friend of mine died. My wingman, best friend for like 14 years, super awesome. So much so that people always thought he was my daddy. Like literally, they would be like, "Oh, that must be his daddy," because yeah, he's like an older white guy and I'm a young Latino. You know, typical Los Angeles May December relationship there. But no. He this whole time, you know, COVID kind of split us apart. We spent the last 2 years not talking. It was like a game of chicken because I wasn't gonna call him, he wasn't gonna call me. I was still working, he wasn't. He was living off that pandemic check and going to the club every night. That's not what I can do. I have to keep a job. I live in LA. 100K don't go far. The whole time though, I'd always known him to be a drinker, to be an alcoholic, and I seriously thought the alcohol was gonna kill him. Turns out sobriety did. He had a liver enzyme deficiency. Just so you guys know, if you're gonna quit drinking after many years, go get checked. Liver enzyme deficiencies are gonna get you. So that's a little dark, funny, not in the ha-ha way, right?
Yeah, you tell them it's better to drink.
But another like way that I started to wake up out of so that's how it started, and it was another daddy that started waking me up. Mostly some really intense dreams. Oh, hold on, it wasn't like my daddy or anything. It's just the guy that I'd been sleeping with for a while, for like 14 years. And let me tell you guys something. I learned about anxiety through that because we weren't in like a real relationship. It was always one of those things where we would have great sex and then, you know, high five each other and be like, "All right, bro, peace out. I'm head home." So there wasn't a lot of that sharing that was going on. You know, you can't catch feelings. It's what Instagram posts say. So when my friend died, I mentioned to him in a text, I told Tony, I said, "Hey, you know, my friend died." And he didn't realize that was like serious for me, and I didn't bring it up at all. So I did what every reasonable person that listens to things on Instagram, I cut that toxic person out of my life. I was like, cut you out. So, you know, because I was having those dreams, you know, does anybody believe that dead people talk to you in your dreams? Like, I seriously believe that. Like, I think the ones that have passed, they talk to us in our dreams. So that's why I got really stressed when I started to dream about Tony. I was like, what's going on? I said, oh shit, something's going on. So, you know, I sent him some text messages. They said delivered. You know, I have an iPhone, I'm not low budget here. I sent them some gifts. They said that they got delivered. I even had one of them like hand signed, so of course, not low budget. Said delivered. Then I finally started to get anxious because his birthday was coming up, the actual birthday date, and I still hadn't heard anything, not even like a hello. So I did the reasonable thing, you know. I turned off all my car's lights and turned down the radio and drove by really slowly back and forth till I saw some lights blink on and off. So you might want to know what happened. Turns out he's doing what every other Californian wants to do to live the American dream, and he's moving to Arizona, you know? Do that or Texas. After I did end up showing up the next day to find out what happened. Turns out he was literally filling up a truck. It was a little rough, but you know, it taught me a lesson. You know, you got to speak up if you want something. You can't just, or if you need to express something, you got to speak up. That's it's a two-way street. So for the next few weeks, for the last few weeks and coming forward, I'm trying to focus myself on reaching out to my friends, going out to the gym, really just trying to be a better person. And I guess with this heat and working out at the gym, I'm sure I'll be able to sell those underwear on eBay. I didn't time myself. How much time we got?
You have 1 minute.
All right. You know what? I'll call it there because my cat jokes can wait for next week.
Oh, trouble. Oh, woe is me, this is the life you have, darling. I love it. If I look like you, I would complain so much.
My God, we are coming here, international humor once again. Do we have it? Yes, we do. All the way from sunny where? South Central. Give it up for Anya. Let me hear you.
Anya!
Try to be quicker. Try to be quicker and I'm still slow. Alright, let's get into it. My legs are sore, people. I'm sorry. Alright, let's tap in. What's good? What's good, everybody? How goes it? Yeah. I know, let's get some energy in here, man. Yeah, okay. Alright. What do I want to talk about first? Let's talk about this. I'm a very chill individual. Like, I'm a very calm person. Like, I give very relaxed vibes. And 99% of that is because of, like, the weed. But, like, also, like, I'm very mature now, you know? I don't have the energy to get mad about things. But somebody asked me recently, they're like, Anya, do you even get angry? And I was like, know what? Let me think about that. So we made a list. We talk about things that make me angry. But it's like not like the normal stuff. Like I feel like there's certain stuff everybody's supposed to be mad about. Like racism, like we should all be mad, right? Like are you happy about racism? Like you feel me? Like that's the other side. So like now you should choose. It should be easier to decide now. But I get mad about, here we go, this is one example. Like when I go to like Cheesecake Factory and shit, like I'm going to like, you know, have a dinner there at Cheesecake Factory. And then I see a family celebrating a birthday for like a 13-month-old kid. I get unhappy, right? I'm angry now because everyone's drinking, having a good time. The baby is crying. He's unhappy. Little Timmy lived these 13 months and we supposed to be celebrating that. And we're here somewhere that he's not even enjoying. It's his day. Why is he here? It just didn't make sense. The vibe is not the vibe that he would enjoy. I don't know, like somewhere he could like slide out or play some games. I don't know. But I'm like, it's his day. Let's celebrate him. That's all I'm saying. Secondly, another thing that makes me mad is it's really random. Amazon in general makes me angry now because Amazon is way too damn big. Does anybody else realize how huge Amazon is? Like I was on, you can get anything on Amazon. The other day I was on Amazon, I saw myself on Amazon, me, and I honestly I was mad, but I was more mad when I saw you can get me on Prime 2 days. I'm that easy. You can just get me in 2 days. I thought you had to like at least, I don't know. Like damn, bro. Another thing that makes me mad, or now I realize this just made the list today, because I was just really jealous, right? Because I don't know anybody's religious background right now or how you feel about like I don't know, creation or how that works or who makes people or whatever, but I'm just jealous of the fact of this. No matter who or what you believe in, if somebody is a twin, whoever made them was so happy with it they wanted to make that shit again. Like what? I'm hot. What? You ain't think you wanted two of me? You feel me? Like I'm a little jealous when I see twins now. I'm like, dang, bro, like he made you, was like, damn, I did my shit. Let me run that shit back one more time. Like, damn, what? One was cool with me? I don't know. That's weird. It's a weird thing I feel about that. Let's talk about something else. Let's transition into some cool stuff. What's good, people? I like to tell people stuff like about my self-discovery all the time because I be, you know, taking these edibles. They allow me to sit and like, you know, think about my life, which is beautiful. And recently I came out with something that a lot of people weren't really shocked by, but it's like, you know, when you publicly come out with something, you like make a statement that you're accepting this, right? And I also realized it wasn't my fault, which is great. It's really fun to do self-discovery when you can push the blame to somebody else. Like, I feel like that's why horoscopes are so popular. Like, bro, you lie a lot, but you know I was born in December. Not my fault. I mean, if I wasn't born in December, I would not be lying, bro. That's not my fault. Candy corn traits, bro. I'm sorry. But we were like, people talk about like black people being late. I don't know, we talked about CPT, you know, right? That's a thing, but why, let's talk about that real quick. Why is it still CPT, guys? We need to change that. Colored people time? Let's get with the times. Double APT? African American people time? No, let's change it. I'm just saying. I'm thinking of idea. Double ACP. Let's start saying that. All right. Let's get with the times, guys. But you know, people talk about that because, like, you know, the event's at 5. Black people start showing up at like 6:30. Why? We're not trying to get there and watch everybody else show up. We're trying to get there, get it in, and go home. You know, we all work. But Africans, Nigerians specifically, are way worse with time. I'm sorry. The event will say 1. We showing up at 7. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? And we all agree to put the event 1. No, we showing up late, but we can't just agree to like show up at the time that's on the flyer. It's sick. And I tell people this, they're like, "Oh, that's impossible." I'm like, bro, let me tell you this story. I have a cousin. We go to these family events, family parties, and my mom was one of the aunts, or to everybody else who was making food, you know, whatever, at these parties. So I would always be there on time, you know, setting up. So she always talking to my cousin like, "Hey, Blessing, come here. Blessing, can you go and do this? Hey, Blessing, can you grab this for me? Blessing, can you do this?" And so my cousin's just doing all these things. So as we grow up, I'm like, "Hey, man, you know, you're about old enough to know the real me, man. Let me get your Instagram, man. What's your Instagram, man? Blessing, and where I can't find you." He said, "My Instagram is We Love Theodore." I said, "Excuse me, sir, who the fuck is Theodore?" He said, "Me, my name is Theodore." I took the phone back, excuse me, called my mom, said, "Hey, mom, what's up?" "I ain't got you. What is going on?" "You know what, cousin Blessing?" Yes, I know him." "Do you know his name is Theodore?" "Ah, of course. Yes, I know that." "You know that?" Said, "Yeah, listen, the event says 12. He shows up at 12. It's a blessing to know him." "Ah, he got a whole new name for showing up on time? That is insane." Where they do that shit at? Nigeria, exactly. That's where they do that shit at. That's specific. Can I get a time check? Time check.
Your time check is... How many minutes you doing?
10.
All right, we got 5 minutes.
All right, cool. Let's rock out a little bit longer. You know, we are working on first show. We have a show on a date that I actually didn't even know I liked until I saw it written out. 9/10, right? That's cool, right? You got a show on 9/10. Wow. That's you? You have a show that day as well?
That's my birthday.
That's your birthday? Oh, wow. Well, happy early birthday, man. I'll be doing a show on his birthday. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just randomly locked that in at the Comedy Chateau. They hit me like every week. Like, "Do you want to perform?" I'm like, I guess I'll perform this week. I be busy. I be busy. I'm working like 3 jobs right now, but let's not talk about it. Yeah, I don't know what's up with me. I actually uncovered this trauma. Okay, sorry. I know I want to work on the show, but let's talk about this. I was like, why do I always like just find myself applying for jobs? Like, even with 3 jobs, I just sent in an application for something yesterday. Why? I remember, and I don't know if this is funny or sad. Let's talk about it. I was fresh out of college, and you know that year, I don't know if people know, the year after college, you're very confused and you're just in life, right? So I wasn't like working the best of jobs. I think I was postmating and shit, but I had a girlfriend. And she, for whatever reason, really, really enjoyed food I could not afford. So I would very often be very close to negative numbers in my account, right? But I'd never tell her, you know, dudes, you know, we'd be like, "Man, you swipe that card knowing you got, it say 99 and you got $100 in your account, but you'll swipe knowing that that's your last of your last, and nobody know but you." But I remember we were at this little boiling crab type of situation, you know, the little restaurant, and I'm watching them just start slamming back these shrimp. Now, I'm like, man, another pound? Wow. Whew. This market price today? Whew. Sheesh. I'm over there getting hot. They're like, did you get mild? Why are you sweating? Food's getting expensive. So we're there enjoying the time, and you know the topic, you know, girls, they just talk about everything. You know, they had a little girl talk, but I'm just there. I'm the only guy there, you know, with my girl. And she said something like, something about work or whatever, and saying like how like I basically had no job because I was working at Postmates, and all the girls like laughed. They laughed. Like, they were all laughing about this joke in front of me. I remember my reaction, because I'm such a non-confrontational person. Like, even in that time where I'm the most disrespected, I was like, "Hey, do you guys mind talking about something else?" Like, I literally, all I said, right? I'm not even, like, angry. I'm like, "You guys mind talking?" But I remember in that moment, I vowed I would never be caught without a damn job. So now I always have, like, 2-3 jobs at a time, which is fucking insane. But They'll never catch me no job. That's what I said that day. Just a random confession thing we just came up with in the group chat. I just discovered that self-therapy, just talking with the homies, we just come up with shit. I know I probably got like 2 minutes left. Let's close on this. My dad is super religious, and people talk about like having a pastor's kid, or being a pastor's kid is like the worst, like you can have it, which is wrong. Because being an African pastor's kid is way worse. Because like the Bible was my third parent. You feel me? Like in my household, Halloween was a sin. Let's talk about it. How the fuck is Halloween a sin? What does the devil benefit from me and my homies getting candy? I just don't understand. Like is he a dentist on the back end? Is he a part of Big Candy? What is he gaining from us getting this candy? Because it's the same candy that's in the store right now. It's just smaller versions. I don't know. So I tried to convince my dad. I tried to convince him to buy me a costume one time. It was we had like this costume, like book fair thing, like parade at my school, and my homies was like, "Hey, Anye, we finna be the Avengers. We need you to go ahead and be Spider-Man." I was like, "Ooh." Low-key, when I said Avengers, I was nervous. A lot of buff people, you know, I got this skinny frame, which I said Spider-Man, skinny, strong, that's more my body type. I think I could do that. Let's make it happen. So I go home. I'm like, let me see the book. Go home. Go to my dad. Like, hey, Dad, we're doing this book parade thing at school. You know, the characters in the book. I want to be this character right here in the book, page 36 in the book right there. He's Spider-Man right there in the book. You see him in the book? There he is, in the book. My dad looks at the book just for me. My son, you think I'm dumb, man? You think I'm dumb, man? You want to bring costume to my house, and you think I'm dumb? Throws the book, leaves the room. That's a successful conversation in my book because he didn't hit me. You feel me? Like that's a dub. I was like, I made it. You know, so my friends are still mad at me to this day because I was still in all the photos. You feel me? Like we still lined up as the Avengers, but I'm gonna line it up for you. It's Captain America, Hulk, Malcolm X, Thor. Wait, what the fuck is Malcolm X? He made me go in a suit and tie, and my dumb ass is still in all the damn poses, like I'm Spider-Man in a damn suit and tie. And I'm really stupid and smart at the same time because my friends asked me when I showed up in the suit. They was like, "Excuse me, sir, you supposed to be Spider-Man? What's going on?" I told y'all I was born in December. I lied. I said, "Y'all understand that I just flew in from New York and Doc Ock and them done grabbed my damn bags on the way here." Can you believe them? They was trying to hijack the mission. Wow. But it's gonna help us because I'm actually gonna go in first in this disguise. And they're like, "Oh my God, we're doing crime. Who is this random guy in here while we're doing crime?" Bitch, it's me, Spider-Man. Stop that shit. Oh my God. Slide, save, undercover mission. I don't know. I just thought it out. Maybe it'll work for everybody else. But thank you guys so much for the time. At Anye West on Instagram, that's ONYEWEST, tapping with the boy. We got that show on the 10th at Chateau. We got a show on the 17th at Play Nice in Long Beach. We're racking it up this month, so.
Yeah! Comedy and basketball. I love your sneakers, by the way. They're very, very nice. They're very nice. And I'd like to welcome someone who's making their debut here, and I want to make sure that I pronounce the name correctly so that we don't keep talking over her. Let's give it up for the comedy of Rupali Segal. Let her hear you.
I'm not gonna do any brown jokes. I'm sick of the racist jokes.
Okay, watch out for this, please. Don't touch it. Okay, don't touch it.
No.
Don't touch it.
Oh, it's the mic to your other side.
It's like being at an airport.
This one.
Oh, this is the one.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm Rupali. Rupali means beautiful. My parents wanted to be sure because they are just very superficial. I can marry any guy except a black guy, a poor guy, a Spanish guy, just any guy who doesn't have money. That's just the way it is. I've accepted that. The only way I conquer is that I just don't tell them. Everything I do, anything I do, I'm like, they don't need to know. It's none of their business. They'll get a heart attack. Who wants to go through that? So I grew up in India. Growing up, my father, like, he was rich. He was a politician. He had the money, the luxury, the planes, the flights. I know you're bored. We'll get to the interesting part. But before I could grow up and enjoy it, he filed for bankruptcy. So our vacations became like pilgrimages. Like we would climb up these mountains and I kind of like that because I liked walking up to a mission and not just living life for no reason. But I moved out to America 14 years ago when I was 22. I know you can do the math, I know you're doing it. But I'm just that person who just don't care. I don't care how old I look, I don't care how young I look, because life just hasn't treated me that way. When I did move out 14 years ago, I did get a cultural shock. I didn't know what Jewish is. I thought it's a dish, it's a cuisine. I asked my teacher, I'm like, what's up with these Jewish people? What is wrong with people? Why do they say that Jewish people are cheap? And he said, I'm Jewish. I'm like, oh. Okay, so are you cheap? He's like, I'm not. I'm like, good to know, because not that I care, but I'm just trying to figure out the myths so I can separate the myths from the truth. I lived in New York for like 9 or 10 years because they felt like 90 years. India is just not a country where people work hard. We don't go to work and say, just slaughter me, kill me physically, just take the juice out, throw the soul, leave the body in the graveyard. It only happens in America. Do I enjoy America? That's a question. I was looking for the rave parties and I went to these techno, psychedelic kind of parties, and I'm like, it's just drugs. Like, nobody's really having fun. I don't see anybody taking fire out of their mouth or out of their ass. Or, none of this stuff was happening. I'm like, this is boring. So 14 years I've been here. 7 under the table. 7 out. It's in between, so I cannot even tell you exactly which is what. I always wanted to be an actor. Like, growing up, my mom looked at me, she's like, you should be an actor. I'm like, I know. That is it. She was like, I just was taunting, I didn't really mean it. I'm like, I know, but I mean it. And I tried Bollywood and I did not like it. I just don't like sleeping with ugly men. A guy can be good looking to me and not to everybody else, it's fine with me, but I just cannot talk to somebody who the only thing he's thinking of is when can I suck her titties. I just can't do that. I'm just a smart girl, I can read through, I just cannot go through that brutality. I would rather make scrambled eggs at home with some peas in it, some white onions, and I'm good to go. Comedy, I got into comedy last year. 2 years ago, I got sciatica. Anybody know sciatica? Oh Lord, everybody. Okay, so I got sciatica and then I went home to India, and 2 weeks after that, COVID happened. I'm like, great, I am home. At least when I die, everybody's together. I can die in peace. I was so ready for it. But the world didn't end. I was disappointed. So COVID finished, and then I came back and then realized America is the worst country. Because India, even when the COVID was going on, we were going out, meeting people. It was fine. Nobody was like, oh my God, don't come to my house. My mother is 90. She wants to live another 40 freaking years so she can suck this planet off, all the resources, and then she wants to die. So do not come to our house. I didn't face that in India, so I loved being in India that time, thank God. But I got into comedy. Really, that was, I think, the best thing that happened to me during COVID. And so I came back, and then I got the vaccine, and then I got a stroke, a brain stroke. I have a blood clot in the brain. And I'm like, there you go. And one man to sacrifice for the American dream. It's like a conversation I'm going to have with people from Egypt, 80 years old, sitting under a palm tree, eating dates, smoking some hookah. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't have time for that, but I'm really looking forward to it. Do I date? I don't. Nobody knows shit. Everything the guy talks about is this cryptocurrency, the Starbucks coffee they like. or how they hate their job, or how the American economy needs to just get a boost, or inflation or deflation, something has to take place. And I'm like, God, this is boring, man. He doesn't know anything. I'm like, have you traveled outside America? Do you have a passport? I've been to Miami. I'm like, great. That does it. That is, you know the whole world. Great, bye. It's either that or it's the Indian guys who have never left their mama's breast. They're still in her blouse, sucking on those titties, thinking of what is mama thinking if she goes out for a date with a white guy or a black, brown, yellow, pink, whatever. Nobody ever really listens to what they want and just die and sulking. I'm not that. I'm not that. I made it very clear even when I was born, after I was born, during I was born. I was living. My parents are still in India. They want to come to America, but I haven't called them yet. I'm like, what are you going to do? Travel in the bus? Because I'll be slaving. I'll be like, 1920s. I'm working in the factory. I go in, I turn black, and I come out. And then I say, what do you want to eat? And then I'm saying, eat the frozen food. Is that what you want to live and see in America? So I've never called them. I want them to come though, but I want, even when I'm getting a speech, saying a speech in public, I don't think even that's going to cut it, because then they'll have their own freaking issues about not understanding language. Right? So I can never have it my way in this life. I have to wait for the next life. Which reminds me, my mom loves to save. She's a saving whore. She's like a savings account which opened in the 50s. And it's still going on. And she's going to use it maybe in her next life. Leave a bank account where she was burned. We burned dead bodies. So I don't know how she's going to find it. It's her problem. I don't care. I wanted an arranged marriage though. I really wanted an arranged marriage. I swear I did. I wanted to sit there, pick the guy, pick the mother-in-law and say, can you cook this? Can you cook this? No, I can't cook it either. Great. I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to say, oh, your son has a problem with women speaking back. Great, why don't you get a chicken? You don't need a girl, you just need a chicken. And the day the chicken talks a lot, just cut it, kill it, eat it. That's the truth. India, it's like survival. We are so many people. Like my town, we are like 30 million people. Can you believe that? It's like 150 miles in area. LA is like 450 or like 520, that kind of area. India is like, my place, my city is like 150 something. But we have like 30 million people. I'm amazed. Every time I go, I'm like, this boy is new in the neighborhood. Where do you come from? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if dogs, give birth to human next time. I wouldn't be. All the street dogs, the street cows, they decide to keep, to figure it out and bring a scientific sample and a human being. His name is Pablo. I love it. I will probably adopt Pablo and bring him to America. And then get him a job in a cafe making $12 an hour and slaving his ass until he is 40 or 50, and then I'll get him a job at the restaurant as a sous chef, and then 60 he'll commit suicide. I know. I know it's very dark. That's just how my life is. I'm single. I think I've always been single. Even when I was in a relationship, I was like, am I in a relationship? It doesn't look like it. He didn't want to go out and spend money in the restaurants, and I wanted to experience the American culture. I wanted to eat the food, drink the wine, know what grape I'm drinking, what it goes well with, how am I supposed to sit. I wanted to learn and perfect the whole thing. He just wanted to play video games. I'm like, great, good luck. I'm out. I really believe that if I don't like something, I can change it. That's just my agenda in life. When I did move out and I worked at the table, I've been a barista, a waitress with my bachelor's in marketing degree. It comes in handy when I'm selling that top shelf work. I'm really dying. When I worked in the restaurant, I was really dying for somebody to ask me, are you a graduate? Because I'm like, let me just say it so I can just slam it in somebody's face and I can get my money back. Not that I paid for it, my father paid for it, but I was a really good student, so he didn't have to pay much. Yeah, I'm like a discounted child. Like he asked for a second child who doesn't get a lot of investment, just a lot of return. That's me. Thank you. My father is a narcissist. My mother is a selfish. She's not a whore, but I'm sure when she was whoring around, I just wasn't old enough. Same with my father. When he was fucking around, I don't think I was old enough or I was here. I'm glad I was. I don't think I could have taken it lightly. I just cannot live with hypocrites. But that's why I live here, and that's why it works perfectly. I know. But growing up, I would play my game with my sister that mom and dad are dead. Let's split the money. And then, I know. And then my dad caught me one day. He's like, "What are you playing?" I'm like, "I'm playing a game." He's like, "What?" Well, like, what are the keys? I'm like, "This is mom's wardrobe. This is your wardrobe." He's like, "Why is my wardrobe in the corner?" I'm like, "Because there's nothing interesting in it. If we win the game, who wants that? I don't want it. There's nothing going on there. My mom has all the savings from 50s and 60s." But then when he filed for bankruptcy, I stopped playing that game. It's my time?
Yes.
Wow, 10 minutes goes by really fast. Thank you. I didn't even look at this, but thank you. Thank you very much. When I'm rich, famous enough, you'll find me. Nobody remembers this.
Online. They do.
Nobody remembers this. I didn't
remember.
pay attention it. I swear. Nobody said their name. I didn't pay attention. I couldn't. So we'll
Some
talk
people
after.
do, some people don't.
Really?
So cast your net and see what
Okay.
happens, you know? Because you
Rupa.
miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a
So
very well done
Rupa Villa. Rupa, RUPA Villa, and then I'll follow you back.
All right, that sounds fair. All right, well, this has been a really interesting show. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight this Labor Day weekend, because you know what? Every day is Labor Day when you're a comedian. You got to work all the time. All the time. Even when you don't feel like it. And I wanted to say, Wes, thank you so much for covering us. Without you, nobody would know I exist. That is the truest thing I've ever said. You guys know if you want a tape to see. We didn't go up. Patty? Everybody's up, dude. Hey, I already rocked this house. We've been here. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Thank you for following us, LASC. Because if people tell you you're funny, you probably are, but you won't know till you take it from the page to the stage. That's right. Look at you dressed in white for good luck. Like Whitey, the Cuban guy. Everybody knows a Whitey, right?